Hey, this is Steven from LegitTechTutorials, and welcome back to my product development series. We are back working on the Fila Factory 3D printer filament maker. And I haven't worked on this project for a while because I was getting a lot of things that was coming up, so I needed to continue working on it further. I had to take a step back for a little bit, so I was studying for a test, pretty much, coming up here the last few days. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a few things, mess around with this guy and see what we can do. We're back working on the funnel. So this guy, as you guys remember, goes on top of the extruder assembly here. And basically, it goes up here, and then it comes down through the this outer hole, I believe it was, or this hole comes through here, I believe. It goes. This is this. So yeah, this is in here. So this is the wall, the pipe. And then it goes in this area here, I believe. I don't know why I have double rings on it. Well, let's see what we can see. Okay, so yeah, that is right. So yeah, it's supposed to be within this ring here. So, but I don't know why I have this one. This should be here. Anyways, it's going to come down through, we're going to have a few tubes that come out of this guy and go down in through that hole. So we're going to see if we can build the funnel to do that. And if you guys remember that we had some loft issues here. Wait, what was this? What is this one? Yeah, sometimes it has some issues with doing stuff like this. Sometimes it just lofts the whole thing. Really pretty annoying. I think I tried both ways. And let me cut. So I guess I could loft and then show both the sketches, show all the sketches. Okay, we don't need that first one. Whatever. We're going to loft from here down to the bottom. So, trying to remember how this guy was working again. So these are going to be open. So let me try to just remember what I was doing. So this is the part that funnels down and funnels into that attaches to this piece. So because we have 3D printing, we are not able to print stuff with overhangs because I don't want to print with any sort of overhang, so I don't have to use supports. One second. This guy is going on the bottom, so this guy is attaching to this piece, and then there's another piece, basically the hop piece that attaches to this piece. So I remember now, we're supposed to just cut this out. See, it has problems. It has problems doing that, pretty much. So, like, I basically have to do a loft for every single piece, for the most part, is what it's looking like. Oh, and he sort of did it. That's pretty weird. Maybe if So I don't know why it has problems with that. Basically, most likely what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to turn this into a sketch that I just revolved, because this is not doing what I want it to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So before this, so I have the sketch, and then I'm going to see if I can do a construction plane normal. This is location on face. And that looks pretty good, but I would really like it to be straight. I don't know where the angle is. The angle's here. Yeah, let's draw another line on this guy that goes straight down the middle. So we could create a sketch off that goes straight down the middle. Okay, let's go stop that. It's pretty plain. -90. Okay. And then let's go from the left. Create a sketch on this guy and project a few things onto that sketch. One of them would be a whole bunch of things, I guess. Actually, just this piece. Project include, project this. Let's make sure those are projected, and then that's projected. Whoop, didn't want to do that. Okay, so now we got that. Let's figure out some distance from here, 90. And let's say it's 1.5 inches, and let's go ahead and turn that into a construction line really quick before we stop the sketch and figure out what this is, how far this is, and we'll copy this right now. Okay, this is 2 inches. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 2 inches on this then. Okay, then basically what we're going to do is do a line from here. Oh, and then figure out this sketch. After I close this, figure out how big. So what I'll do is I'll do that, and then I'll go back. I wonder if it'll let me. I don't think it will. Yeah, it won't let me reference anything past. Anyways, yeah, let's see the sketch. What's the outside diameter of this guy? Two inches with an offset of 1.25. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then it says 2 inches, so that's 1 inch. And then an offset of 0.125 or 1/8 of an inch. Divided by 8. 125. Yeah. Okay, so this goes, oops. This goes here. This goes here. And then we rotate it around. Yeah. And then there's a line that goes from here to the center. No, let's not do that. I should just revolve this pretty much. And this will be a construction line. Stop sketch. And then let's go ahead and delete. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's not delete yet, because we need to figure out what's there. Revolve. Let's revolve this geometry around this axis. 360. And there you go. So I can get rid of these two things and also get rid of, what the hell? Also get rid of that plane. Get rid of that sketch. Now we have that sketch, that sketch. Get rid of that. Edit feature. And then basically what we're going to do with that guy is we're going to extrude it to the point where we can't see anything outside, so something like that. And that's basically, I mean, it's not really, the reason why this is here is to support this inner cone piece, which I don't know why we need to remove this. I don't know why that's even there. The next thing that we need to do after this guy is we're extruding out this cool little funnel thing. Oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. It's this. And then this is a little sketch that's at the top there. I know now. I remember. So now that's another loft. And then I don't know what this is. Now this is a loft from this one to this one. just gives me a warning. So it should still be able to do it. Yeah, like I said, sometimes Fusion does some dumb crap that I really don't like much. So it should do it. It didn't do it. So I mean, like, what's the problem here, you know? Oh dear God. Yeah, what is this one? Oh yeah, there's the cylinder, that's what that was. Oh, there we go. Okay, so clearly it doesn't like that. There it goes. Okay. That worked for me. Oh! Whoops. And that's supposed to be edit feature, join, this body, join. There you go. Single body. So now we got that. So now we got that, and then we got the rest of the hopper. And then basically, I don't know if that is even deep enough. That should be going way deep into this thing. So basically, what this thing is supposed to do, which looks like it's going to be difficult because of pretty much these things need to come down all the way and then start to narrow. So this is a funnel, right? And then these are getting taller and taller, and then these eventually constrict these 4 diaphragms into 4 smaller pieces that fit over this extruder piece, right? Turn it into almost just holes, right? So those need to constrict down to like 1-inch holes or even smaller than 1-inch holes. So that's what needs to happen. But the main issue is getting them to basically be to not shoot outside of this piece here, right? So these need to keep coming up, and then this funnel just keeps tightening until there's, and also, and actually that's not the case. And this is actually supposed to get bigger and bigger. Reason being is that this guy is supposed to fit over the top of the motor. So the motor's got to fit under this thing, right? So this should be getting bigger and bigger, not smaller and smaller. So what we need to do now is we need to somehow loft this into some pocket, right? And I would need to subdivide this into 2 pieces. One piece here, half of it, the other piece, the other half of it. So let's go ahead and do that. So, turn off the body. Oh, actually, before I turn off the body, project include. Okay, close it down. Alright, so with this, what I'm saying is that this guy needs to be lofted to constrict to a few holes, to a few like hole piece things that sit on top of the of that constriction, right? It's really hard to explain. So with this constriction, this needs to be big enough that the motor fits in it, and then basically this piece here needs to split as well as the inside needs to loft up and into there. So basically what it's going to look like is it's going to look like 4 legs of a chair, right? Except for the funnel comes out, it comes out from the center and moves into the funnel of the chair. Because another issue we have is, getting all that heat. Because what I could do right now is I could simplify that funnel to where some of the heat gets out. Or in this case, what would also be really cool is if some of the heat leaked in from the motor leaked up and into the hopper. So let's say that some holes on the side of the pipe were so small that the heat couldn't go through, and basically allowed it to go in. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have these just be how they are. And just have these pieces meet to this extruder head. So this guy pops on top of that guy, and then what I'll do is this guy needs to be extruded up to the top of this guy, and then basically this is going to have a hole in it that doesn't allow the filament to go through the center, and also it fits around the motor. So as the thing goes down, the pellets constrict to a small little opening, and the opening is basically this minus a few cutouts of parts that, where it needs to support the motor when the motor's sitting on it. Actually, I believe I know what this line is. This line is where the motor bolts are. So basically you have, a motor bolt here, a motor bolt here, and I think this is actually the size of the motor itself. And then I believe we're getting a square motor, if not preferably get a cylindrical stepper motor. So for that, this will have to basically expand to the point where, so let's with this, because I think this is where I lofted it from. So let's stop this and let's push this up. Okay, so now we're getting closer to what we need. Then this inner diameter is supposed to get big. And also now what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be lofting to this outside piece. But you saw as it does, it freaks out and screws up the middle. So something like that, right? But obviously way bigger. It's going to constrict this. And then also this piece is going to be basically constricted down to the size of Another issue we have is this thing is flat at the bottom here, so pellets are just going to get stuck on that shelf. So that also has to have a nose. And you can't put a nose on there because it needs to print flat. So definitely going to have to print a nose and glue it onto the top of that thing so pellets don't get stuck in that flat piece. Anyways, so yeah, let's go back to the, so it's going to start like that, or even smaller than that, and then this is going to go big size. Let's go even bigger, because we need to fit a motor in there, pretty much. In this, where there's going to be a hole here. So let's say that I'm actually going to loft this outside piece. So let's say that this is a 2-inch, 2.5-inch motor. Let me see. I got a little ruler right here to get some relative dimensions. So we're talking 2-inch motor, preferably a circular motor. So let's say 2-inch. Yeah, which is basically that size. So what we could do in actuality is just have 2 inches there, something like that. So now it's, yeah, so now it's that. So instead of this doing what we did there, this will be basically, not that, this one, not that one, sorry, this one. This guy would be, like sort of like that, or almost straight up, very little, yeah, sort of like that, pretty much. And then this would have a giant hole in it. So let's just say the size of the motor or whatever is like 1.5 inches. Stop that, and then it's basically extruded till it hits the outside there, which generally won't work, because then it hits. Yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, so then the motor fits in there, and now the pellets constrict down, so this guy just slides on top of the motor. The issue is, of course, that you have a whole bunch of heat getting generated by the motor, but it will be collected by the pellets inside. So you could also, you know, heat the pellets from both the escaping air from the extruder at the bottom, going up through, and also the heat of the motor going up through, and going through some holes that we could have the print have on the side of this, and then go through those holes and then get trapped inside the top of the cylinder with a cap. And this is just, if some of you guys are confused about what it would look like, let's go ahead and joint it really quick. Oh. What happened there? Why is there... Apparently that makes another body. I think it's because it actually separates slightly. So now it doesn't separate. So let's go ahead and make components, create components from body, and then I'll show you guys what it would look like just by joins really quick. And then we'll leave this guy alone for a while until we figure out what we're doing here. So yeah, basically, kind of did it on the wrong side. There you go. So yeah, pretty much like that. So then you glue this guy on there, and then there's your hopper that has quite a bit of volume down to the constriction that the motor could fit in, or that allows the motor to go around it without any pellets falling into the motor, and fills up the extruder up to a certain point, which is basically, as I've studied with the multi-extruder, is up to where the auger starts to round off, and then it fills it up to that point, and then once it gets to that point, it clogs the rest of the pellets from falling through and doesn't cause it to fill up any further. But as the filament's getting pushed out, the filament continues to fall in to make sure that it is constantly filled up to a certain point. Alright, and that is pretty much it. We will be working on the funnel more later, but we're going to put it off to the side as I am encouraged that this is a pretty good design, and we will be looking more at it later. So this has been Steven from LegitTechTutorials. I thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe for more videos like it in this series and other series as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.